In the midfield, number 14, Daniel Johnson. In the midfield, number 12, Eric Avila. In the midfield, bearing number 21, Zach Haribo. At forward, number 10, Prosper Kassim. And at forward, number 11, J.J. Williams. Your Birmingham Legion FC are led by head coach Tommy Sohn.
Right, I'm gonna throw this on. Should be getting close. Let's go. God, it's windy up here.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's stand to welcome our team to BBVA Field with our call to arms. Are you ready tonight? Hammer! Down! All right, we're going to have to get right here. Let's go again. Hammer!
One minute, copy that. Hammer Down has been the rallying cry of this new Birmingham Legion FC side in their expansion season. And as they continue to push for a playoff spot, they get a challenge tonight on their biggest home match of the year against Charleston Battery. Welcome to the Magic City, Birmingham, Alabama. This is the south side of downtown Birmingham, BBVA Field. Our host for a Saturday night showdown in the USL Championship between Charleston Battery and Birmingham Legion FC. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our broadcast position. Blake Gardner joined by Mike Getman. Excited to have you with us. And Mike, this is the most anticipated matchup of the weekend in the USL.
This is two really good teams that have gotten to the same place through two different routes. Birmingham struggled early, then played really well the second half of the season. Charleston Battery, a little bit different. They had a great start to the year, struggled in the middle, and then have been really hot the last week or two.
No matter how they started or how they've played, they both ended up in nearly the exact same position as we look at the Eastern Conference table coming into the night. And here's why this matchup is so important. Birmingham Legion holding on to that final playoff spot on tiebreakers via their two more wins than Charleston Battery, but both tied on points coming into the night. Mike, a chance for either side to take a big leap.
This is a really pressure-filled game. Coaches may not want to say it out loud, but there's an awful lot riding. Birmingham has to win this match. Charleston really needs at least a point in order to stay in the race.
Well, let's take a look at some of the players that might impact tonight's match. Let's start with Charleston Battery. Joe Kuzminski has been a stud at the back.
Joe's been really good for this Charleston Battery team. He's made one or two key saves in almost every match, and he saved a couple of key penalty kicks as well.
It's a homecoming for the Charleston Battery keeper, the former UAB Blazer standout and team captain here in Birmingham. Certainly happy to be back on his once former home turf. On the other side for Birmingham Legion, no Brian Wright up front, so it's up to J.J. Williams to shoulder the load.
J.J. Williams will be the lone striker up top. He's got to be the key man. He's got to be the guy who scores goals and sets up plays for this team.
Williams has been prolific, especially in the air. You saw the goal he scored here at home against North Carolina, along with the one that he scored on Monday against Swope Park Rangers. Whether he finds the back of the net or not certainly will go a long way in deciding this matchup tonight. Well, perhaps no game left on the schedule for either of these two clubs means more than this one. A chance to go up 3 points with 3 games left in the race for the final Eastern Conference playoff spot. Who will have the advantage after tonight? We'll find out next.
BBVA, transforming banking to put the world's opportunities in your hands. BBVA Compass is now BBVA, creating opportunities.
Coors Light is cold filtered for brightness and clarity. The world's most refreshing beer, Coors Light.
Welcome back to downtown Birmingham, Alabama. Just about ready to go between Charleston Battery and Birmingham Legion. Time to get a look at each side's starting 11s, and we'll begin with the visitors from the Low Country. Charleston Battery under head coach Mike Anhauser and Mike Getman. Pretty similar lineup for the Battery tonight.
Not a lot of changes. 4-4-2 formation, which they've been using for the last month and a half. They've been having success lately. Why change?
Just 2 changes, in fact, from their 1-1 draw against New York Red Bulls 2 last week. On the other side for Birmingham Legion, one big change we highlighted in the open. No Brian Wright available, so it's J.J. Williams up top by himself. Daniel Johnson, Prosper Kassim, going to have to give him some support tonight.
Without Brian Wright, it'll be J.J. by himself up top in a 4-1-4-1 with a lot of experienced players throughout the lineup. These guys have been getting it done all year long.
Including Mikey Lopez, the captain once again tonight for Birmingham Legion, is back at his regular fullback position. There's Mike Anhauser, the coach of Charleston Battery, now in his 15th season as the head man at this Battery club. The 50-year-old originally joined the club as a player way back in 1994, became an assistant coach in 1999, and then the head coach in 2005, a USL Hall of Fame inductee. Meanwhile, top zone on the other sideline, the 52-year-old, best known for his stints with DC United, where he won a Supporters' Shield and a U.S. Open Cup. Also worked with current Birmingham Legion president Jay Heaps during both of their time at New England Revolution. Cooled down quite a bit here in the Magic City, 79 degrees at kickoff, which is significantly cooler than it was earlier this afternoon. It was 95 at the top of the heat, but it's cooled off a little bit. The breeze has come in. Hopefully the rain stays away. Our referee tonight, Mark Allerton, the Connecticut native, gives us the whistle, and it's one of the oldest clubs in the history of U.S. soccer taking on one of the youngest with a playoff spot on the line. Charleston and Battery is underway for the Magic City, Battery in Birmingham.
Really looking forward to this match. It is one of the oldest clubs in U.S. soccer history against a brand new franchise. Both sitting in the exact same spot in the table, fighting for playoff position. An awful lot at stake. 2 really good teams going at it tonight.
Legion going with their chain strip white tops here at home. Charleston Battery, meanwhile, sticking with their customary primary kit on the road. Mikey Lopez early out wide for J.J. Williams, who can't corral it, and it's going to be a throw-in for Charleston. Blake Gardner alongside Mike Getman, glad to have you with us. One of the most important and most anticipated matchups of the weekend. Could call it a classic 6-pointer. Chance for either side to go up 3 points, which would be a massive margin with just 3 games left as we wind down this USL Championship season. Time to get a look at our keys to the match tonight, presented by Bare Naked Noodles. And Mike, as we get a look at our keys here early on, let's start with Charleston Battery. What do they have to do tonight to come away with the result on the road?
Well, for Charleston, it's really about being organized in the back. They've made a couple of changes. They've struggled to keep teams out over the last month or so. And then defending crosses from wide play, that's something that's been a weakness for them all year long. Flip side of it for Legion, dealing with formation changes. They've been back and forth between a 4-4-2 and a 4-1-4-1, and they've got to find their scoring touch. They've created chances all season long, but finishing has been a little bit of a problem.
Kassim couldn't quite get his shooting boots on for that opportunity. And it's the captain, Taylor Mueller, who brings it back the other way. Mueller trying to play over the top for Rip Meyer. A bit too far for him as Razak Cromwell runs it down. Those are keys to the match presented by Bare Naked Noodles. Pasta's so good it doesn't need to get dressed in Birmingham. Just a couple of minutes in here for the Magic City. Mikey Lopez out wide. Connects with Avila, who couldn't quite thread it back to him, and it is the throw. And a bit of a missed throw, it appears. Referee has changed his decision and is now given a throw to Charleston. Gives us a chance to look at our Viva Health injury report tonight. Kieran Mason, Niku Daly, and Leland Archer all appear on the Battery injury report. Daly was questionable coming in with a knee injury. He is available and in the 18-man roster for Charleston tonight. Meanwhile, Birmingham Legion, of course, without the services of Chandler Hoffman and Mathieu Laurent. to go along with Eddie Opoku, Tyler Savitsky, and Daigo Kobayashi. And not injured but not available for selection, Brian Wright, who picked up a red card in Monday's match at Swope Park. So plenty of bodies not available for Legion. Contrast that with Charleston. We talked to head coach Mike Anhauser earlier in the week, and he feels like this is about as close to the healthiest his team has been in quite some time.
Yeah, it really is remarkable to be at the end of playing 30 games in a league like this, a tough physical league, and they've got almost everybody available for them. Legion has seen a little bit the other side of it, where almost game by game they've had different players dropping out for injury or other reasons. They're missing 5 guys that at one time or another were starters in this lineup.
Here's a Siadu. Thought about letting one go. Instead, it finds its way to Johnson. Out wide, Kyle Culbertson. Culbertson, a left-footed outswinger. Headed down. Still around. Falls for Lopez on the volley. Kuzminski has to parry it aside.
What a great strike from Mikey Lopez. That ball was skipping at him with some pace, and he hit all of it. And give Kuzminski credit. Big save early in the match.
First time Kuzminski's been called upon tonight. The 25-year-old and former UAB Blazer. Back on turf he knows quite well. First corner of the night for either side belongs to Legion. It'll be Culbertson to provide an in-swinger. To the near post, Williams with a flick.
Great ball served in. That's something that Legion FC have been a little bit inconsistent with over the course of this season. They've had some good serves.
The ball played over the top towards Guerra.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a mistake from Cromwell. You can't let a player bring a ball down off a 60-yard serve like that. Got away with it, though.
Johnson able to keep that in play along the touchline. Got around Nelson. Tried to get it away with his left foot. Instead, it is just sent over the end line. It'll be another corner, as almost dueling mistakes there from the back line. Nelson's header was kept in play, and Johnson was able to run into space.
You never know whether teams will face a match like this and sit back and defend and be safe. But Legion FC have already been going to goal. I think they've made their intent pretty clear.
It'll be Eric Avila to swing this one in. Low-driven ball. Williams goes down on the box. Referee not buying it, as Avila will take the corner once more.
A little bit of a wasted serve from Avila there, but he gets another crack at it.
J.J. Williams and Kyle Nelson battling right in front of the keeper, Kuzminski, and now that's going to draw the attention of tonight's referee, Mark Allerton. 22nd match Allerton has ref this year, his first time seeing both Birmingham and Charleston.
J.J. Williams starts right on top of the keeper, but he likes to come out to the edge of the 6.
Back post, Kuzminski not clean with it. It falls for Fisher, who goes down. Referee tells him to get up. A lot of contact and nervy moments for Charleston, but they escape unscathed, and now a chance to counter perhaps the other way. Long ball finds Lewis, heads it into the direction of Rittmeyer. Rittmeyer on the edge of the area. His cross, just a bit too far for Lewis. Here's Higashi. He lays it off. Out wide, here's Guerra with a shot, denied by Fisher.
Great block from Kyle Fisher. Read it well, got down in front. Good block.
Still an opportunity here for Charleston as Nelson's service is sent away. Lewis through the legs of a defender. Man goes down. Fisher not clean, getting it away from danger. A shot, another one is blocked. Still circulating in the area. Rittmeyer trying to turn the corner against 2 defenders and was unsuccessful.
Both teams have looked a little shaky when the ball's in their defensive box. Neither one getting it out cleanly. Certainly creating excitement at both ends of the field.
Both back lines have been put under early pressure and not exactly have dealt with it well. Flag stays down. Guerra trying to lay it off for Lewis. His back heel finds Culbertson instead. And Aravo taken out from behind. That draws a whistle.
I expect this to be a little bit of a chippy match. So much riding on this match for both teams. Charleston's been a pretty physical team all season long. I wouldn't expect them to change that for tonight's match. I expect a lot of fouls, and this is a referee who's given a lot of fouls, given a fair number of cards, and even given away a fair number of penalty kicks. I don't know that I'd use the right word there, given away, but he's certainly blown the whistle for a large number of PKs.
85 yellow cards given by our official tonight in his 21 games officiated so far this year. Zico out wide for Lopez, wearing the captain's armband once again tonight. Kassim trying to get around Anunga. Circling, looking for options. Couldn't quite connect with Johnson. Lovely play there by Lewis to split the defense. And now here comes Zico Lewis off and running. It's an even 4-on-4 break. Lewis out wide for Higashi. Higashi trying to get it back to him. Lewis couldn't quite beat Van Oekel.
Another dangerous counterattack for Charleston. Zico Lewis is the danger man up top. He drops in just underneath Guerra up top, finds the ball, and then likes to run at people. That time with Asiadu out of the way, there was a lot of room for him to run.
Birmingham Legion didn't see Zico Lewis last time these two teams met. He was off with his native Bermuda in the 2019 CONCACAF Gold Cup, where he started all 3 contests for Bermuda in the group stages.
They didn't see him in that first game, but I'm sure they're aware of his talents. He was on display at the Gold Cup, as you mentioned. I don't think there's too many coaches around the United States that don't know about Zico Lewis.
Candela out wide, Higashi. Higashi going right at Lopez, edge of the area. Higashi fought off it by Lopez. Candela is able to clean it up.
That was great defending by Mikey Lopez. Really patient, didn't dive in, waited, and then at the key moment got his body in front of the shot.
And Asiadu was able to win the battle against Candela there on the end line. Candela remains down as the referee has pointed only for a goal kick. Slowly to his feet is Vincenzo Candela, the 25-year-old Colombian. And now Van Oekel gets the whistle to restart play. Fans, there's only one place where you can choose what kit Birmingham Legion FC will wear in their last match this season. That's the Birmingham Legion FC app. Download the app today on both iOS and Android platforms. That's the Birmingham Legion FC app, where you can vote on which kit Birmingham Legion will wear in their final match of 2019. Into the 12th minute here in the Magic City. Rain has stayed away. Both defenses have had some nervy moments, but nothing has rippled the back of the net just yet. Mueller picks out Guerra, but the flag is up. I don't think he was offside, but I think he got away with a bit of a shove, or didn't actually get away with it against Razak Cromwell.
A little bit of a battle for positioning there. Cromwell went flying. The referee really had no choice but to blow the whistle.
Avila trying to loft it over the top in the direction of Lopez, who couldn't keep it in play.
Mikey Lopez playing as a right fullback all the way up in the attacking third. He's spent a lot of time there already today. Clearly a decision that was made over the course of the week that they wanted to get him forward, get him into the attack.
A.J. Patterson, Jared Van Schaik certainly going to have their hands full with Lopez. Really likes to get forward no matter which position he's playing. As we've got a quick stoppage, our referee tonight, Mark Allerton, having words with Razak Cromwell, along with Kyle Fisher, both Legion center backs just off screen. And now also having words with Atula Guerra. Already seen some physical play, as you mentioned, battling for position there in the central part of the park. Mr. Allerton just trying to get out in front of it, it appears.
Guerra's a big, strong, physical player. Razak Cromwell, not quite as big, but a very good athlete. Kyle Fisher, a typical center back, big, strong, powerful in the air. It's going to be an interesting battle between those guys all night long.
Lewis Out wide for Rittmeyer, but a bit too far for him. As Culbertson readies to take this throw. Cromwell under a bit of pressure against Guerra. Goes down. Referee doesn't blow his whistle this time. It's Guerra. Lays it off for Lewis. Lewis lets it go. It's blocked by Fisher.
It's the second really important block from Kyle Fisher already tonight.
Legion sending bodies forward the other direction as Kassim switches the play out wide to Lopez. Avila cuts it inside, looking for options, lays it off Arivo. Arivo all the way through everybody to find just the feet of Nelson. Asiadu runs it down, holds off Rittmeyer. Williams for Johnson. Daniel Johnson, one of the men that Coach Mike Anhauser highlighted when we talked to him earlier in the week. His dribbling ability certainly something that Charleston Battery have game planned for. Arivo couldn't quite thread it through to Lopez.
Daniel Johnson so quick with the ball at his feet. Even if you're aware of his talents and ready for it, sometimes there's just not much you can do to stop him.
Throw in coming, and it's going to go Legion's way. As Arivo leaves it for Lopez. Fan Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Quarter hour gone. Both sides have had an opportunity or two. Legion have had maybe one or two more as Avila is held off by Van Schaik. So far, Mike, how do you think each side's adhering to their game plan?
It's been interesting so far. Legion have had success when they've kept possession and moved the ball and gotten lots of players forward, especially their outside backs. Charleston Battery have been successful on the counterattack, having maybe their best chance tonight so far coming off of a Legion FC corner kick when they just simply beat them down the field 3-on-3.
Legion have had nearly 62% of possession early on in this one. Chance for Charleston here to possess. As that lofted ball over the top finds only the waiting arms of Matt Van Oekel, making his 19th straight start tonight. His 10 clean sheets tied for 5th in the USL Championship this year.
We have seen the Battery play 3 or 4 balls over the top. I think trying to take advantage of a pairing at the center of the back for Legion that haven't played very often together. This is only the second match where Kyle Fisher and Razak Cromwell have been the center back pairing.
Of course, Legion without Mathieu Laurent, who would be the ideal partner for Fisher. Laurent out with a torn ACL for the remainder of 2019. Culbertson's left-footed service. Kuzminski with clean hands this time.
He bobbled the last one that got served in, but that one looked much more confident and handled it very well.
Third season with Charleston Battery for the keeper, Kuzminski, the 3-year starter at UAB. He's also a team captain in his time with the Blazers. Whistle and the foul is going to go against Daniel Johnson for a bit of a high boot.
It was interesting talking with, we see the replay there, talking with Mike Anhauser earlier this week when he was talking about Kuzminski and his charisma in the back, his leadership, and how he's really been the hot keeper that has made some real key plays for this team.
This time of year, it seems like your keeper needs to make a couple of big saves to keep your team in, keep your team around the line.
As he was talking about Kuzminski, I really felt like I was hearing an echo from Tom Sohn talking about Matt Van Oekel, who's had a very similar year, I think, for this Legion FC team.
Lopez has had plenty of work so far out wide on that far flank, as Legion are looking for any weakness in this Battery back line. Avila towards the top of the area. Williams lays it off. Kassim. Nicely done out wide for Culbertson. It falls back for Kassim, who mishit it right at Kuzminski.
Great play. First of all, started with a great pass from Prosper Kassim out to Kyle Culbertson. Ball kind of squibbed through a few people. Really good chance. Prosper Kassim will be sad that he didn't hit that one a little bit better.
Culbertson heads that one out of play. Fans, the final playoff spots are at stake October 9th when Wednesday Night Soccer returns to ESPN News. Tune in at 7 o'clock Central Time as Birmingham Legion FC fight for the last spot in the East with upset-minded Hartford Athletic as they look to crush those hopes in front of their home faithful. Catch all the drama unfold on Wednesday, October 9th at 7 o'clock Central Time on ESPN News. Anunga under pressure, dealt with it well, found Lewis, who switched all the way across to Patterson, who's got plenty of time. Patterson lets it go, and it's deflected up.
Really good strike from Patterson. He caught every bit of that ball, got just under it enough that it carried over the crossbar, but a really dangerous strike.
I thought I got a piece. I think Patterson just hit it that well. Just couldn't quite keep it on frame as the referee did not point to the corner flag, just a goal kick for Legion. Johnson tackled off the ball by Anunga. And now a whistle and a stoppage as Anunga went down behind the play. '21st minute, no score between the Holy Cities Club and the Magic Cities Club, Birmingham and Charleston. Entering the weekend, Charleston's playoff hopes 69% according to 538 as we get a second look at the foul on Anunga, committed by Kyle Culbertson there.
He definitely caught him. I don't know that he meant to, but I think just as he was running by, caught the back of his leg.
Rittmeyer, lovely through ball there to Lewis. Lewis tries to get across away. Fisher got a boot to it, and it's the first corner of the night coming for Charleston.
That was a really dangerous ball, driven into the box. Kyle Fisher did well to steer that wide. From our angle, it looked like it might be finding the back of the net.
Fisher, the former ACC Defender of the Year. First team All-American in his time at Clemson. Seeds Charleston's first corner of the night. Battery appear to be preparing for a back post service here in the 22nd minute. It's low, it's driven, it's flicked into a dangerous area and sent over the top of the bar.
We've seen both teams have good scoring chances coming off of their corner kick. This looked like a play that they had practiced. Near post flick, drawing the defense away. Just couldn't stay over it and keep it on target.
Second good look of the night for A.J. Patterson, 23-year-old former draft pick by New York City FC.
It's interesting that we've seen both teams maybe having their best scoring chances coming from their fullbacks.
Whistle on a foul as J.J. Williams went to the turf in an aerial duel with Captain Taylor Miller. Williams helped to his feet. We'll get a second look. Not a whole lot of contact there. Maybe Mueller with the hand on the jersey there is what attracted the whistle.
Looked more like he put his hand out just to keep some space between the two, making sure that he didn't get backheaded by J.J. Williams. The referee saw that arm out and thought it was a push.
After some early physical play, we've gotten a pretty tight whistle here over the last few minutes. Legion with a set piece opportunity. Avila lofts it over the top. Towards the back post, doesn't quite get to Kassim, but Charleston do give Legion their third corner of the night.
A little bit of a misdirection play, running all the big guys to the near post and trying to see if they can spring Prosper Kassim open at the back post. Well defended by Charleston Battery.
I think the fourth corner of the night for Legion. Avila had 2 in succession earlier in this first half.
It's interesting to note that all 22 players are in the attacking third of the field here. Legion got caught on the counterattack early. They literally have every field player up into the attacking third, almost daring the Charleston battery to counterattack them.
J.J. Williams went down again as that set piece was taken, holding his midsection, as Taylor Mueller has words with our referee this evening.
He may have taken a little slap or a little nudge to some sensitive parts.
Perhaps, as Williams is slow to make his way back to the central part of the park. Kuzminski restarts play. Kassim flicks it into open space, but only Kuzminski comes and gets it. Fans, don't forget you can continue to enjoy the USL on ESPN through the 2022 season. QSL is excited to announce the championship and League One will remain with the leader in sports for 3 more years. ESPN Plus will continue to be the home of all things USL. Then at least 19 games a year will be featured on the ESPN family of networks, including 9 games on ESPN Deportes. Continue to follow, support, and watch your club on ESPN and ESPN Plus.
Charleston played that last ball deep into the corner, trying to catch Mikey Lopez up the field and out of position.
Lopez has pushed pretty far up the park so far in this first half. Makes sense to try to challenge him defensively on the other end. Lopez also not a natural fullback. Came to this Legion side as a midfielder, and that's where he played the majority of his minutes in the first half of the season, but some injuries defensively for Legion have forced him to fullback. He's filled in admirably, even making a USL Team of the Week out wide. Here's Asiadu. Arivo. Out wide, Johnson. Still Johnson with it at his feet. Couldn't do anything with it to break down the defense.
Legion have got to move the ball a little bit quicker. They've got space. Everybody's taking 3 or 4 touches before they move the ball. Charleston is letting them have it, dropping deeper. The only way you're going to break down a compact defense is to move the ball quickly.
Good ball by Cromwell, finds Culbertson. Culbertson might have had a chance to get an early service in, but Nelson was quick to get there once Culbertson didn't take that chance. Legion being very deliberate in possession. Culbertson with another chance. Johnson against Rittmeyer, gets around him, gets to the central part of the park. Here's Arivo. Arivo edge of the area, back to Johnson. Johnson couldn't quite let it go. Here's Asiadu who will let it go as it takes a deflection over the frame of goal. It is another corner.
Really nice possession, simple passes leading to a really good strike. Deflection blocking it out of the way, but another corner kick opportunity.
Legion have had some set piece opportunities here in this first half. This is number 6. 5 of them corners.
A lot of times Legion have not had 6 corners in a game, much less in a half.
Good ball from Avila. Kassim just couldn't quite put it on frame.
Perfect service from Avila, right to the head of Prosper Kassim, who somehow had been left all alone. He just didn't get that one very well at all.
The marking was poor, but Kassim couldn't make Charleston pay. And despite each side having a fair number of chances here in the first 28 minutes, we're still scoreless. Mike, you surprised at how many scoring opportunities each side has had so far in this one?
With so much on the line, I thought this game would be a little bit tighter. Both teams maybe taking no risks and not sending people forward. We've seen the exact opposite. It's been end to end. Lots of opportunities. Both teams taking some risks, as we just saw there.
Kuzminski nearly caught in possession there by Williams. Rather fortunate that just went out for a throw. Legion back on the ball once more. Lopez, first touch failed him a bit there. Fans, don't forget the big games continue this week, and Legion FC fans are gathering to catch all the action. Legion FC heads north to take on Hartford Athletic this Wednesday, October 9th at 7 o'clock Central Time. Join fans of the Black and Gold at Avondale Brewery for all the action on the big screen. Take part in soccer fun and games and more Legion FC soccer. Wednesday, October 9th, 7 o'clock, Birmingham Legion FC on the road against Hartford Athletic. Off the whistle, Charleston lofted it forward. Nelson got ahead to it. Britt Meyer able to run it down against Cromwell. Cromwell got a foot in. See if Charleston can create an opportunity. Nelson goes down. Was there a foul? There was, according to the linesman.
There was a little bit of contact. He took about 2 steps and then fell forward. I think when he realized he wasn't going to keep that ball, he decided it was showtime.
Johnson having words with the linesman, as you can see on your screen there. Clearly not a fan of the whistle.
It's a dangerous opportunity, and Charleston's got a lot of big people.
Just a one-man wall for Legion. Johnson there as Jared Van Schaik readies the left-footed service. Central part of the box. Lopez got a foot to it. And now Aravo trying to play it away under control, draws a whistle.
That was a really good service from Van Schaik. Put that right where you want it to be. It was driven hard and firm. Somehow there weren't any Charleston Battery players that got to it.
Sounds like your heart was hurting a little bit for Van Schaik. You wanted something better to happen off that service.
Well, when you serve a ball that well, you certainly expect that somebody's going to be challenging for it. Legion, I'm sure, are happy that nobody did, and it was well defended. But when that ball is driven and bent like that one was, you expect it to be a dangerous opportunity.
Jared Van Schaik, one of the best passers on this Charleston team. In fact, coming into the night, he has a team-high 1,300 completed passes this year.
That's a lot of passes.
Aravo won the duel, gets it to Kassim. Kassim off and running. Still Prosper Kassim out wide for Johnson. Johnson edge of the area against 2 black and gold shirts. Johnson's left-footed ball well too far. Beyond the reach of Avila.
Cross didn't find anybody, but it was another good attack. Daniel Johnson certainly looks very interested in this match. Every time he's gotten the ball, he's been looking to take people on.
Fisher heads it to Asiadu. Plays back in the direction of Razak Cromwell. 24-year-old Canadian once again playing center half tonight for Legion. Johnson couldn't quite connect with Aravo. Chance for Charleston to counter if they move quickly. Guerra finds Anunga. Anunga able to hold off Aravo. Pass cut out there by Asiadu. Avila goes down. That draws a quick whistle.
One of the things that we see happening, Charleston Battery are defending fairly deep, but they're also defending fairly central. All 4 of their midfielders are tucking inside, which is really crowding the space where Daniel Johnson, Prosper Kassim want to get the ball. Legion are going to have to find a way to switch it from side to side, stretch this defense out. If you just go down one side at a time, you're not forcing that defense to shift or spread out.
Williams tried to flick it through, but couldn't quite connect with Kassim. Fans, Birmingham Legion FC entrusts the care of its athletes to UAB's sports medicine team, and you should too. All of our doctors are fellowship trained and have extensive experience caring for patients of all ages. Whether you're a weekend warrior or a competitive athlete, come see UAB Sports Medicine so we can help get you back to your active lifestyle. Kassim looking for room in the central part of the park, just none there as Anunga takes it off his foot. And connects with Lewis. Lewis goes down and draws the whistle as Fisher's contact was a bit late.
One of the other challenges for Legion, Zico Lewis likes to start out up high. Looks like he's playing as a center forward, but then he drops back into midfield to receive the ball. Legion are going to have to figure out, is that Kyle Fisher staying with him and coming into midfield, or does he pass him on to Siadu and let him deal with him in midfield?
Legion almost with a giveaway was Culbertson there, who leaves no doubt with that clearance. All the way into the corner goes Patterson. Smart play by him to let it go over the inline. Fans, Birmingham Legion FC continues its playoff push at BBVA Field on Wednesday, October 16th against New York Red Bulls 2 in a game presented by Vulcan Materials. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock, but Plaza festivities begin at 5:30. Get your tickets today at bhmlegion.com or on the Legion FC app. That's Legion against New York Red Bulls 2, Wednesday, October 16th. In a makeup game of a game that was supposed to be played much earlier in the year. New York Red Bulls 2 actually had a 1-goal lead on Birmingham Legion here in the Magic City, but massive thunderstorms forced the cancellation and thus the rescheduling of that match. New York Red Bulls 2 is also who Charleston Battery took a massive point off of last week, a 1-1 draw.
I'm looking forward to seeing them back in Birmingham in the 30 minutes or so that got played the first time. They were certainly a very exciting attacking team. Looking forward to seeing them back in town soon.
Credit the Battery for how well they played on the road in New Jersey against the Baby Bulls. Every point is precious down the stretch here of this 2019 campaign. It's actually the last road match for Charleston in 2019 as Rittmeyer gets pulled off the ball by Williams. And a foul is given.
That tie in New York, I'm sure, felt it like a win to them. They were down, scored a late goal in time added on. Not only coming away with a point, but coming away with a lot of confidence, knowing that you can play on the road against one of the top teams in the league and get a result.
The two teams fight for the last playoff spot in the East, each side with plenty of home matches on the docket. As Van Schaik delivers another line drive, Nelson couldn't quite flick it on frame.
Fantastic serve again. Just can't give away free kicks to this Charleston team because Van Schaik is serving brilliant balls in. That's two that could have scored.
Just another lovely delivery. Kyle Nelson just maybe a foot or two away from making this contest 1-0. "37th minute, despite all the opportunities each side have had, still scoreless. Last matchup these two teams had in the Holy City featured 4 goals, 3 of them for Charleston, including a late one that put the match away. Two teams were tied 1-1 at the break. Charleston got 2 late as Culbertson collects. His delivery well beyond the back post, but Patterson does the safe thing and heads it over the end line for another Birmingham Legion corner. Legion take it short. Kassim's delivery is good. Headed away by Van Schaik. Rittmeyer just gives away the throw.
Legion have been dangerous on every corner that they've served in except the one that was mishit at the near post. I don't know why they played that one short. I thought they were very dangerous in the last few.
Culbertson finds Johnson. Johnson turns it inside. Kassim got it back to Johnson. Nelson to the rescue.
Great little combination play. Daniel Johnson knew that the defense was set to stop him on the dribble, so he played it off almost as a distraction and tried to run through. And that was very close to creating a goal.
Another long ball delivered. That finds the head of Zico Lewis. Lewis gets it back. Lays it off for Higashi. Has it taken away by Prosper Kassim, who's all the way back tracking in defense. Higashi back with it. Out wide. Gear up. Let it go through. Culbertson heads it away. Williams able to keep it, hold it up.
Really nicely done by J.J. Williams. Under a lot of pressure there. Did well to keep it.
Williams' hold-up play going to be an important piece of tonight's contest with no striking partner in Brian Wright. Johnson able to keep this one in play and turn the corner as well. Play all the way across to Lopez. Legion still trying to break down this Charleston defense. They've been unsuccessful so far. Johnson taken off it by Anunga. Tough tackle from him. Johnson able to get it back, but now a late whistle stops that.
Fans not happy with that call, but I think the referee's got it right.
And it looks like a talking to is coming for Daniel Johnson. No booking warranted here. But a bit of contact there as Johnson went through the back of Candela.
Yeah, good call. Johnson playing the ball, nothing nasty in it at all, but clearly took the legs out of Candela. That's why he won the tackle.
40th minute. Still scoreless between Birmingham Legion and Charleston Battery. Blake Gardner alongside Mike Getman. Glad to have you with us on My 68 and ESPN Plus. Been an entertaining back and forth affair so far tonight. Thought we might be in for a nervy, rather careful showing. Instead, it's been pretty back and forth. Fans, don't forget, when you're busy shuttling kids to and from school, soccer practice, and everything in between, and don't always have time to cook a healthy meal, many evenings keep you and your family out of the drive-thru with Meal Fit, the official food sponsor of Birmingham Legion FC. Meal Fit makes life easier and healthier with delicious and balanced home-cooked meals prepared for life on the go. Learn more about Meal Fit and order now online at mealfit.co. Here's Johnson with an opportunity, but he mishit it.
I think he was trying to wrap his foot around that ball and bend it back into the far post. He just didn't get around the outside of it. Shanked it off wide of the post.
Johnson's been a focal point of this Legion attack for most of the season. Team leader in successful dribbles. He's also found the back of the net 4 times.
He's been dangerous tonight. He's gotten the ball quite a bit. He's had some opportunities to run at the defense. Charleston's just done a really nice job of crowding him out at the last moment and not letting him get too many shots off.
Johnson getting a bit more pressure as of late from Anunga, the 23-year-old midfielder. Culbertson able to head that one back into play. Anunga able to flick it to Lewis and play a nice 1-2. Here comes Tom Brian Anunga. Couldn't quite find Guerra as Kyle Fisher and Razak Cromwell were home. So far, been a relatively quiet first half for Atula Guerra. Lopez still going down that far flank. Finds Williams, who lays it off for Avila. Avila cuts it back for Kassim. Kassim tees up a left-footed shot. Kuzminski almost spilled it, but was there.
Worm burner from Kassim. That's a tough ball right there. He hit that pretty well. It was moving with some pace and skipping off the turf. Joe Kuzminski did pretty well to keep that one out.
That last replay look showed you how close it got to getting through the 5-hole. Kuzminski, though, up to the task. His 82nd save of the year. That's 5th in the USL Championship this season. As Culbertson comes up with the interception and draws a whistle for his troubles.
Charleston gives up some possession. They get everybody back, but they get them all defending in a pretty narrow formation, which leaves some room out wide. It does allow some shots from distance. They give up a lot of shots along with the possession, but they don't give up a lot of shots from in tight. And Kosminski's managed to keep most of the shots that he's faced out of the goal.
Legion trying to create some space and breaking down this Battery back line. But so far tonight has been stout. Fisher couldn't quite thread it through to Lopez. And Avila taking off it. Here comes Battery. Garrell looking for numbers, pushing forward. Instead, his back heel unsuccessful as Lopez tracked back in defense. Now a chance for Erivo to attack. Erivo pushing forward. Couldn't quite find Kassim. But an excellent opportunity for Legion to attack against a back line of Charleston that wasn't set that time after the quick giveaway.
We haven't seen it very often, but there was a counterattack on for Legion FC. And pass didn't quite find its way, but a good opportunity.
Long throw supplied by Culbertson. Kuzminski catches it with two hands. Rittmeyer brought it down. Culbertson took it off him.
That's twice that Razak Cromwell has not challenged a ball in the air, allowing Charleston Battery player to just simply pull it down and keep possession. He's gotten away with it twice, but you'd like to see your center back challenge that ball in the air, get something on it. Don't let players bring it down without any challenge at all.
Kuzminski will wait for Williams to come get him before he picks it up. It's a quality look, by the way. The blonde hair with the dark mustache.
Now, anybody who knows Joe Kosminski knows that that's not his natural hair color. He and a former teammate from here in Birmingham both have dyed their hair. I believe it was part of a promotion that the Charleston Battery did earlier in the year. And Joe and Ian Svanteson have been sporting that hair color ever since.
No stoppage time in our first half, and that is all for our first 45 minutes. Scoreless between Charleston and Birmingham, each side with their opportunities. But we head to the halftime dressing rooms with neither side having drawn first blood. And Mike, so far, don't know if we expected it to be so up and down, but it's been entertaining.
It's been very entertaining, very exciting. Both teams having some good chances. A lot on the line. Both teams have decided that they're just simply going to go after it.
We'll see what adjustments are made in the halftime dressing room. Coming up at halftime, we sat down with Doug Hicks, the VP for Birmingham Legion, and went by the Red Cross blood drive that Birmingham Legion FC held earlier this week. Plus, we'll take a look at the news and notes across the rest of the USL Championship. That's all coming up at halftime. Scoreless from the Magic City, 0-0 between Charleston Battery and Birmingham Legion.
At Red Diamond, we've spent 112 years searching the world for the perfect beans. Your search will be considerably shorter. Red Diamond. Expect perfection. Available at a grocer near you. When your taste buds demand greatness, nothing compares to Red Diamond coffee. Unless, of course, it's Red Diamond tea. No shortcuts, no skimping. Perfect's not easy. Red Diamond. Available at a grocer near you.
Hey everyone, my name is Blake. Hope you're enjoying Birmingham Legion against Charleston Battery. Earlier this week, we were right here at BBVA Field as American Red Cross and UAB Medicine partnered with Birmingham Legion for their 2019 blood drive. Birmingham Legion VP Doug Hicks. Doug, thanks for the time, and tell us a little bit about how this blood drive with Red Cross came about.
Well, we wanted to establish Legion community connection within this club, being a major contributor to the cultural fabric and the philanthropic angle of this city was important to us, and one of the reasons that this club is actually in existence. So as we launched Legion Community Connection, we reached out to organizations and agencies that were really making an impact, Red Cross being one of them. This is just one of the several events that we've already had this year, and we'll be doing more with Red Cross, United Way, Children's Hospital, and the city itself as we continue through time.
And you talked about connections with the community being the fabric to the club. When was that decided, and when was it decided to really make this an aggressive part of who you wanted Legion to be?
It was really in the foundation of this club. The ownership group came together and said, we want not only a pro sports team, but we want a community asset that really works on a day-to-day basis to make this city all that it can be. That's a core principle of ours, and that's something that we build on for Legion Community Connection.
Already seen plenty of fans trickle through here, but it seems like players as well have really gone out of their way to engage in the community as well.
They have, whether it's a philanthropic effort or doing something like our D-League. Those are things that are really important and galvanize this community, and our players, they're here. They're part of the fabric of the city already, and I like to say you'll see them out in their kids in your school. You'll see them in your grocery stores, your churches. They're here to stay.
All right, here with Elizabeth, Senior Account Manager for the Red Cross. Tell us a little bit about what you do on a day-to-day basis and what makes this blood drive with Legion so important.
One of the reasons why this one is super important today with the Birmingham Legions is because it's the first time that we've ever partnered with y'all, worked with y'all, so we definitely want to make it, the best, biggest blood drive that we can, collecting the most blood, going to help our hospital patients in need. But it's just always an urgent time for blood. Blood is needed every single day, every single year. So we're just really out here trying to get as many donations as we can today. And
for more information, people that want to get involved with the Red Cross, get more donation information, where can they go?
You can call 1-800-RED-CROSS, or you can go to redcrossblood.org. You can find a blood drive near you, or if you are really interested, there's a lot of forms you can fill out online about getting more involved with us and becoming an American Red Cross blood partner.
Thanks so much to every fan who came out and participated and gave blood earlier this week. Everyone that participated got this awesome Birmingham Legion t-shirt with American Red Cross, UAB Medicine, and Birmingham Legion's partnership showed off as well. For more information, go to redcrossblood.org or bhmlegion.com to see how you can get involved in the community and more events like these in the near future.
Long range effort, that's spectacular! From distance, and it's a goal! That's a great save, Van Oekel. That's it for Harper Athletic!
Hamilton back out wide. Chance to put this in the penalty area. Chance, a goal! Devin Sandoval brings them to their feet in Albuquerque. A minute to play. Dia puts it in. Desperately headed away. Shot comes in. It's 2-2. Oh, can you believe it? From 2-0 down, Phoenix are level.
Making the run, Mo Hernandez, edge of the box. Hernandez, great move, gets free. Hernandez gives SAFC the lead.
I told you the big man was feeling it tonight. Rolling to the middle. Oh, good shot!
Goes right, gets the shot away, score! Nowhere to go for Lorendi.
Set up a shot, and it finds the corner. We're level at 2, and all of a sudden, game on here in Tucson. Puts this in the middle, looking for Ramos. Bingo! It's off the hands of Hara and in. The opening goal for Toronto FC 2. Karafe lost it. Boateng on the run. Boateng back of the net. Charles Boateng is first in league play.
To send it in. Headed away, couldn't get by the first man. Bermudez might come away with it, and he does! And there's nobody in goal! Greenville are going to score, and they're going to the playoffs! Greenville and Chris Bermudez!
Fans, we joined the Austin Bold organization, USL and US Soccer at large in mourning the loss of Nigerian forward Promise Isaac. Isaac was a victim of cardiac arrest late Wednesday evening in Travis County, Texas. He was just 31 years old. Our thoughts and prayers with his family, friends, and the rest of the Austin Bold organization during this tragic time.
BBVA, transforming banking to put the world's opportunities in your hands. BBVA Compass is now BBVA, creating opportunities.
Coors Light is cold filtered for brightness and clarity. The world's most refreshing beer, Coors Light.
Welcome back to BBVA Field. No score between Birmingham Legion and Charleston Battery after 45 minutes of action. Blake Gardner alongside Mike Yetman. Excited to have you with us on an exciting Saturday evening. It's been a pretty busy weekend so far for the USL at large, not to mention this Birmingham-Charleston team. Plenty of other playoff implications also on the line across the league as we get a look at our out-of-town scores. Indy 11 with a much-needed 3 points after a bit of a skid, but how about North Carolina FC getting a big result at home as well?
Some really important matches being played in the last few weeks here. North Carolina had been struggling, but they've found their footing again. A big win over New York Red Bulls. And Indy 11, who'd lost, I believe, 4 in a row, finally find their footing and get back on top.
Meanwhile, a tough result for Pittsburgh Riverhounds at the top of the Eastern Conference table coming into the weekend. Just a 1-1 draw against one of the bottom teams in the Eastern Conference, Atlanta United 2, as ATL 2 turned it on with a couple of good results as of late. So that's your look at the rest of the Eastern Conference at large. As we mentioned, it was Pittsburgh, Indy 11, Nashville, and New York Red Bulls 2 at the top of the Eastern Conference standings, along with Tampa Bay Rowdies and Louisville City. Speaking of Louisville City, they're at the top of our news and notes on this Saturday. Their new venue already got some sod down. It's growing in nicely. If you haven't been following on Twitter, that looks to be an outstanding facility coming our way in 2020. So Louisville City is just about ready to go with their facility. Meanwhile, 45 minutes in here for the Magic City. Birmingham Legion, Mike, we talked about it. They've had the majority of possession, but both sides have had their opportunities. We've had 16 shots between the two teams, but no one's found the back of the net just yet.
heavy possession for Legion FC, but I don't think Charleston Battery care about that. They've been dangerous on the counter. I think possession battle they don't really pay much attention to. I do think it's been surprising that Legion has won almost 80% of the aerial duels.
Yeah.
If they can get the ball wide and serve it in, I think they'll find some pleasure from it. That's something that Charleston has struggled with all year long.
Charleston making their way out of the dressing rooms. Can't imagine Birmingham Legion FC are far behind them as we are just about ready to wrap up halftime festivities here at BBVA Field. Second half is on the way in a moment. So as Charleston make their way out of the locker room, Birmingham Legion coming here in just a moment. The wind has certainly picked up. As you see on your screen, the rain has returned as well. And we'll see whether that impacts our second half of play between Charleston and Birmingham. A look at some of our first half highlights. Birmingham had the first chance of the evening. J.J. Williams had an early header. Joe Kuzminski had a tough time with a second service in. There were penalty shouts, but none given. But Mike, Charleston Battery had an opportunity or two as well. Legion's defense has come up with a couple of key blocks, but Zico Lewis has really pressed forward well.
Both teams have been dangerous in their opponent's 18-yard box. Legion has been there a little more often, but both teams looked a little shaky defensively when the ball was in and around the goal.
Kuzminski, after the early spillage, has been nails. Meanwhile, A.J. Patterson had quite a crack there first and then had a second opportunity here that went over the bar.
Patterson's been really dangerous getting forward.
As has Prosper Kassim, who had a golden opportunity there on a header that couldn't find the frame. Meanwhile, late in the second half, Charleston Battery had a couple of deliveries into the area as well from Jared Van Schaik that went wanting. That was one from Kyle Nelson.
That set piece was a brilliant ball served in, and what a good strike on this last one from Prosper Kassim. Joe Kuzminski did really well to keep that out of the goal.
There you see the flags continuing to whip in the distance, and now both teams have been sent back into the locker room. Severe weather in the area, lightning strike within eyesight just a few moments ago as we were going through that highlight package. And both teams are going to be forced back to the dressing rooms. The fans are going to be forced to seek shelter as severe weather has entered the Birmingham area over the last few minutes. And for Charleston Battery and Birmingham Legion, two sides that have dealt with stoppages, with weather delays, seemingly all throughout 2019. Mike, this is the last thing either side wanted to see tonight.
Yeah, this is a tough break. Both teams are ready to play. There's so much at stake. Nobody wants to just sit down in the locker room and wait. At the same point, referees have made the right call, which is keep everybody safe, both players and spectators. If there's lightning in the area, you really have no choice.
So at a time when we were supposed to kick off the second half in just a moment, instead we are going to be forced into a delay of a minimum of 30 minutes while the fans evacuate BBVA Field and the players head back to the dressing rooms. So that'll certainly force some timing changes on everyone's end, as rain that was scheduled to come in maybe a bit later tonight has made its way in with a force here over the last few minutes, and even more importantly, lightning has made its way into the area as well. As you see on your screen there, fans are being forced to the exits after just 45 minutes between Charleston and Birmingham. And you hate to see weather impact a game as important as this one. So still scoreless between Charleston and Birmingham, and there's some lightning on your screen there. Not a good sign for Birmingham Legion or Charleston Battery, and now it's about making sure everyone can stay safe here at BBVA Field. So let's take a look at some of the season highlights for Birmingham Legion. While we have a moment, we'll step aside.
Breaking in, Kassim! The first goal in Birmingham history is a beauty!
Legion level it less than a minute after the last goal. Right, crossing, the chance is in. It's Chandler Hoffman feeling at home again in Louisville. The Legion have their first ever lead. Lobbed over the top. Right! Brian Wright, brilliant finish. Birmingham leads final minutes. Is this their first three-point performance?
J.J. Williams! Six-yard area, the header comes in, and Birmingham have put 3 past St. Louis FC away from home.
Here's a chance for Kassim, who puts it in! In the dying moments, Legion have stolen a win here at home and went away to score their first goal in front of the home crowd as Kassim does a full lap around the park, knowing he secured 3 points for his side tonight. Johnson teeing up a right-footed shot, and he puts it in! What a strike from Johnson, we're level! Oh my goodness, Daniel Johnson, you can't be serious!
Great job to spring himself free, and then what a shot.
It's the captain, Chandler Hoffman, to take it. A chance here in the 92nd. He levels the match. Hoffman, coolly and collectively puts it in the corner. We're knotted at 2.
Johnson trying to play diagonally. Perfectly weighted.
Ball. Sends it right to
Another
the crowd.
good ball, and it's fallen for Lopez.
Johnson wins. Now a chance here for Birmingham. And it's a tying goal from 25 yards out. And it's that man, Prosper Kassim.
Win possession back only momentarily. Here's Hoffman. Hoffman top of the area. Chandler Hoffman.
Little hesitation move to freeze the defender, and then just bent it into the far side netting. Great goal.
Here's Lopez teeing it up. Mikey Lopez. 2-2. Bromwell picks his head up. Right dummies it through. Still running onto it. Chandler Hoffman puts it in. Legion get their first of the night.
Pushing numbers forward in droves. Kobayashi trying to pick out Brian Wright. Wright brings it down. Wright puts it in! Brian Wright with his second goal in Legion black and gold, and he's given the home side an advantage with just 12 minutes left.
He was giving up some goals. They want to get after them early and try and put them under
That's
pressure.
in the back of the net. Brian Wright. Johnson gets around one man. Daniel Johnson in on goal. It's Daniel Johnson. Williams, a left-footed shot, partially deflected and in!
You can tell as soon as he got that ball, he wanted to cut it back onto his left foot.
Through to Poku. A Poku shot is in! Off the top of the crossbar and in, and it's Eddie Poku who's broken the deadlock. Legion 1, Tampa Bay Rowdies 0. Right, back towards Johnson. Johnson with a chance. Daniel Johnson! 1 minute, copy that. All right, sounds good. Welcome back to downtown Birmingham, Alabama. Birmingham Legion FC against Charleston Battery. We're through one half of soccer, 45 minutes, but right as we were about to start half number 2, a lightning delay forced the teams back into the dressing rooms and forced the fans to vacate the premises. Now both sets of players have made their way back onto the pitch, and we are getting ready for a 9:05 local time start. 10:05 Eastern, 9:05 Central Time is our announced time to play our second half of soccer here from downtown Birmingham, Alabama. Blake Gardner alongside Mike Getman. And Mike, this is tough for both teams who have had just enough time to sit in the dressing room and get stiff and now have to warm up all over again.
This is really tough. Physically, it's hard in just a few minutes to get yourself all the way revved back up. But mentally, more than anything, it's difficult. Both these teams were so prepared to play this match. So much at stake. All of a sudden, you're sitting down in a locker room for almost an hour, just sitting there getting cold. It's going to be a question to see which team does a better job of being mentally ready to go when the whistle blows.
Yeah, we talked about the stakes at the outset of the broadcast. Both teams tied on 39 points. Legion holding on to that final playoff spot coming into the night by virtue of a tiebreaker with more wins so far this year than Charleston Battery, 11-9. But entering the weekend, according to 538, Charleston Battery's playoff hopes 69%. Meanwhile, Birmingham Legion's playoff chances sit at 42% based on the strength of schedule each side has left. So a huge match that could swing your playoff hopes one way or the other. And now it all comes down to a second half that's going to get started about an hour later than it probably should have.
Nobody wanted this delay. The players, the coaches, certainly not the fans. But weather is what it is. Both teams are just about ready to get going again. I think we're going to see both teams coming out as hard as they can. There's 45 minutes to determine their playoff futures. There's no question they'll find the energy to get going.
Should be noted, this is the first time Central Alabama has rain in a little over a month, and it's hit right here on the most inconvenient of times. Now, the bad news is there's more rain on the way, coming in the 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock hours, or at least that appears to be the case based on the current forecast we're working off of. The good news is there's about a 45 or 50-minute window, hopefully, where we can play this game unabated and without further delay. So let's hope for that and not for more storms to interrupt our second half of action between Charleston and Birmingham. There's Zach Yarivo on your screen. He looks like he's ready to go. Legion once again in their changed white strips here at home. Charleston Battery in their traditional black and gold. As our referee crew looks just about ready. A couple of checks to the watch as the fans have started to file back in here to BBVA Field. The Magic City Brigade drums are back up and running. I'm sure the regiment back in the Holy City are still supporting their battery as we play deep into the night, already past 10 o'clock Eastern time on the East Coast and the Low Country. We're just moments away from our second half of action as J.J. Williams has a couple of words with our head referee tonight, Mark Allerton, who went through a cardless first half despite a fairly quick whistle.
I thought he did a nice job. He kept control of the match. He knows how much is at stake for both these teams. He did a good job making the calls he needed to, keeping both sets of players under control and not losing control of this match.
There's the whistle. Second half is underway after a lengthy delay. Two teams still tied 0-0. We'll see if that changes here in half number 2. It's Charleston who controls first. Here's Higashi, who plays back in the direction of Van Schaik. No announce changes even after the lengthy stoppage, as Van Schaik cuts out that lofted pass and sends it hurtling back the other direction.
What we saw in the first half was Legion FC dominating possession. Charleston Battery sitting back defensively, dropping off and letting possession go to Legion, and then trying to strike quickly when they did win it back. Lots of long balls over the top looking for the counter. We'll see if that's how both teams continue to play.
Legion had over 62% of possession in half number 1. The two teams combined for 16 shots. So far, none of them have found the back of the net. First touch of the second half for Guerra, who lays it off for Lewis. Here's Anunga. Out wide, A.J. Patterson, the fullback, getting forward. Asiadu takes Sagashi off the ball, and here comes Legion, a chance to counter back the other way. Johnson into some open space. Still Daniel Johnson dribbling with it at his feet. Out wide, Kyle Culbertson. Cut out by Nelson. And a throw is given the Batteries away as well.
That pass from Daniel Johnson almost got Kyle Culbertson killed. Played it just slow enough that the defender could read it and get in hard, which he did, winning a good tackle.
Nice play by Nelson, who started 6 of the last 7 matches for Charleston Battery, the product of Wofford College in Spartanburg, South Carolina. As a late whistle draws another Birmingham Legion foul. This will go against Daniel Johnson.
I think it might have been Kyle Culbertson who maybe didn't enjoy the tackle against him and took it out on his opponent.
Charleston will take their time getting play restarted as the rain has resumed ever so lightly here at BBVA Field, with the second half now underway.
The rain won't impact things too much. This field has not seen a lot of rain over the last month and a half, and it drains very well anyway, so the rain shouldn't be an issue tonight no matter how hard it comes down.
Kassim tried to win the second ball. He goes down in a heap as Anunga commits the foul, and Kassim appears to be in some pain. We'll get a second look here.
Looked like the trailing leg just caught him.
Legion restart play quickly. Here's Kyle Fisher. Out wide, Lopez continues to push up from his fullback position, much like he did in half number 1. Asiadu. Switch across to Culbertson, can't keep it in play. 49th minute, fans, when you're busy shuttling kids to and from school, soccer practice, and everything in between, and don't always have time to cook a healthy meal many evenings, keep you and your family out of the drive-thru with MealFit, the official food sponsor of Birmingham Legion FC. As Van Okel comes out to collect, MealFit makes life easier and healthier with delicious and balanced home-cooked meals prepared for life on the go. Learn more about MealFit and order online now at mealfit.co. That's mealfit.co. Lopez's pass a bit too tall for J.J. Williams.
Didn't find the target, but I like that he put an early ball in the first half. Legion FC kept possession, but rarely served crosses into the box. I think it's one of the ways that they can create some real chances. Charleston has struggled defending crosses all season long.
Williams holds up play for Arivo. Tight turn there from Arivo, able to keep possession with it. Here's Johnson. Johnson surveys, plays out wide. Does it get to Lopez? It does not. Nicely cut out by Patterson.
Well read by Patterson. A little bit soft on the pass from Daniel Johnson. Maybe needed to play that ball in the air to get it there.
23-year-old A.J. Patterson's had a pretty solid night to this point.
He's done a good job defensively, but he's also been one of the more dangerous players on the offensive side of things.
Avila tried to turn, lost it. Anunga wins it back. But Charleston can make nothing of their possession. Mike, it seemed like a lot in that first half. Birmingham Legion, yes, they had a lot of possession, but they were also attacking a lot against a very set, very entrenched Charleston defense.
No question. Charleston gets 8 field players back defensively. They get them back quick, and they also bring them all in pretty tight and central. Doesn't leave much room to attack down the middle, but there is space out wide. Legion got it wide, but didn't tend to serve it in. They seemed to come back around and come back into the middle with it, and that's where things broke down in the first half.
Kassim feeds Johnson. Johnson cuts it inside against Nelson, now circles back the other direction. Nicely marked there by Candela.
Charleston certainly hasn't changed defensively what they did in the first half. We can see you got two up top chasing around against the defenders, but they got everybody else back in central, really crowding space. Legion's going to have to move the ball quickly and look to switch it and get it wide if they want to create real chances against this Battery team.
Here's Anderson to Siadu, the product of UCLA, trying to hit Johnson. Johnson's run took him offside. Joe Kuzminski, solid first half for him, as you saw him on your screen there momentarily. 25-year-old from Denver, Colorado, and former UAB Blazer. Trying to help his team steal points on the road.
He probably had a few more touches in the first half than he would have liked. Nothing that troubled him too much, but Legion definitely had a couple of shots and a few crosses that they served in, especially on corner kicks, that he had to come and deal with.
Lewis finds Nelson, whose first touch was well too heavy. Nelson, the right fullback, trying to work his way into the attack. Bit unsuccessfully there. Fans Birmingham Legion FC entrust the care of its athletes to UAB's sports medicine team, and you should too. All of our doctors are fellowship trained and have extensive experience caring for patients of all ages. Whether you're a weekend warrior or a competitive athlete, come see UAB Sports Medicine so we can help get you back to your active lifestyle. Gentle rain continues to come down here at BBVA Field. Temperature continues to come down as well, now into the mid-70s, which is saying something considering the heat wave that the South has been stuck in. As a whistle near the corner flag draws a stoppage. Bit of a clumsy challenge there from Guerra through the back of Razak Cromwell, and both men are down.
I do think we may see our first card. It was a clumsy foul and really an unnecessary foul. Ball was running out of play. There was no reason for the contact at all.
Linesman over there is Tiffany Turpin. She appeared to have a pretty good look at it, but it does appear as the referee has gone to his pocket for the first time tonight against Tula Guerra. And a very late challenge.
Yeah, what really wasn't a need for it. Guerra is a pretty big man going up against Razak Cromwell, who's not nearly as big, and I think he just wanted to establish his authority, but a little overzealous and got himself booked for his troubles.
No cautions issued in the first half. That's our first yellow card caution issued of the night. As Legion usher this all the way back to the waiting hands of Matt Van Okel, the 33-year-old. Former standout for Minnesota and RSL. Nicely weighted by Lopez to free Prosper Kassim. Kassim kept his feet, but it's just a goal kick. Well ushered out by Jared Van Schaik.
That was really well done by Van Schaik. Went to ground, which made Prosper Kassim hold up, trying to avoid the tackle, but he then just let the ball roll, knowing that he was going to get the goal kick. Really smart play.
Throw in coming for Legion as Lopez wanted to take it quickly and does. Kassim against two defenders, gives it up. All the way back to the center half, Kyle Fisher. Just about 10 minutes into our second half of action, still scoreless between Charleston and Birmingham. Culbertson, one touch, frees Johnson. Johnson trying to turn, does so, finds Erivo. Erivo now. Still Erivo. Lays it off for Lopez. Lopez into the area. Driven shot is blocked by Patterson. Falls for Erivo, who heads it back into the fray. Still in the area, Lopez got it to Kassim. Flag stays down. Kassim couldn't thread it through the black and gold shirts, and Lopez is down on the ground, and that'll stop play. Lopez, a key contributor. Go ahead, Mike.
Well, Mikey Lopez got way up in the air to win that header. but he came down really hard and really awkwardly. I'm not sure if this is a shoulder injury or what, but he came down funny.
Could see the K-tape on the back of Lopez's leg. He's been a man who's dealt with some injuries, certainly some knocks, especially over the last couple of weeks. He had to leave Legion's Friday night contest here at BBVA Field a week ago early due to a cut on his head that required some stitches. Played against Swope Park this past Monday with headgear, opting to go without tonight. As plays restarted, Mueller heads it forward to Guerra, who lays it off for Anunga. Guerra gets it back. Now wide, here comes Higashi. Higashi trying to turn the corner against Culbertson, but his service is well wide of its intended target.
Really good turn of pace from Higashi. Just not quite the service he wanted to have there at the end.
I think that was Ripmeyer, actually. Pardon me, the 25-year-old from Savannah. Ripmeyer patrolling the right wing for most of the night. Kotaro Higashi the left wing. Legion take the goal kick short. Charleston with a bit more pressure here early in the second half than they showed in the first. Here's Culbertson, the fullback, getting up the pitch.
And this is where if they can switch the ball quickly, there's lots of space wide right.
Johnson's pass cut out. Here comes Anunga. Anunga trying to get around to Siadu. Couldn't quite clear him. And it's all the way back to Fisher.
And that right there is what Siadu does every single game. He works so hard, covering so much ground from side to side. He really is just a one-man wrecking crew in that defensive midfield position.
Siadu came over to this Legion side from Atlanta United 2. He was the first-round draft pick by Atlanta United in the latest Super Draft, as Patterson heads that away. Kassim, though, able to win the second ball. Siadu back out wide for Lopez. Avila, under pressure, gives it back. Erivo, one touch to Johnson. Johnson goes down, referee says play on. And now a whistle and a stoppage. Erivo goes down in a heap, and it's our second caution of the night. It appears, at least. Referee quickly pulled his yellow card. Has he thought better of it?
Yes, he has. He's showing straight red, and I think he's got this one right. I was going to be surprised with the yellow. There's a little bit of a tussle, maybe a bit of a shirt pull from Zach Erivo, but it looked to me like a very high elbow thrown and an earned red card.
Wouldn't have mattered either way. Guerra had immediately been shown yellow a few moments ago, so double yellow would have equaled red, but Atula Guerra's night comes to a close here in the 59th minute as we get a second look. And just two high swinging arms back to back sent Erivo down and drew the red card.
He was frustrated at having his jersey pulled, and I get that, but you've got to have a little more composure than that. He threw two elbows. There's no way he was going to get away with either one. And he clearly caught Zach Erivo in the head or face. And he's put his team in jeopardy here. This is a big mistake. Zach Erivo getting the yellow card for pulling on the shirt, which is what I thought the referee was going to just do initially, and maybe had missed the elbows, but he clearly got it all, and I'd say he's gotten this exactly right for both.
So Erivo is booked, but Guerra's night comes to a close. A huge decision as Charleston Battery will play down a man for the remaining half hour. And whether the contact from the high arms of Guerra was strong or not, it certainly looked bad from the looks we got.
The rule doesn't even matter whether you make contact or not. When you throw elbows and you're throwing them head height, it's violent conduct. You're getting sent off whether you actually make contact or not.
So Charleston down a man as they restart play. Lewis goes down, taken off the ball by Cromwell, but that's going to draw a whistle. And a free kick for Charleston in a dangerous area.
Both teams need to be smart and get their composure again. The referee made the calls he's needed to make, but he's going to blow the whistle loud and hard and early from here on out. He's got to keep control of this match. He knows what's at stake for both teams, and so he's going to call it very tight the rest of the way. Birmingham Legion have the advantage they want, being a man up, but they've got to be smart and not put themselves in a position where the referee equals the game from a bunch of silly fouls.
How's that? Cromwell got a pretty stern talking to there. That looked like his final warning of the night. Another chance for Jared Van Schaik to send one into the area. He had 2 excellent deliveries in the first half, neither of which was finished.
Set piece delivery has been excellent all night from Charleston Battery. Legion have dealt with them so far, but they do need to be careful because this is one of the things Charleston Battery do extremely well.
One of the most experienced members of the Battery, Van Schaik, over 130 career appearances for Charleston. Another driven service all the way through. Van Okel was there.
He's a one-man weapon on these set pieces. His serves come so quick, and they're bending and dipping. They're difficult, and on a wet field like this, skipping in, Matt Van Okel did really well to handle that one cleanly.
So Legion now with their first opportunities in possession since gaining their man advantage. Time to see if they can make it count. Johnson to Arivo.
Charleston Battery's method of defending in the first half was leaving their 2 forwards up high and defending with the other 9. Now it'll just be 1 man up high for the counterattack, but it won't change their defending in the back or midfield.
There's that 1 forward, Zico Lewis, who runs onto this one. Gets around Arivo. Can he get around Fisher? Not quite, as Fisher got there first.
Fisher leaned into him, but was careful not to throw an elbow or get his arm raised up high. The referee did well to read that play.
Arivo. Williams plays 1-2 with him. Arivo looking for some movement off the ball. Instead, a successful dribble, another one. Turns looking for help, finds Lopez. Lopez, an incisive dribble or two. He goes down, a lot of contact. Referee lets it go.
There's going to be a lot of possession for Legion the rest of the way, a lot of opportunities, but they've got to move the ball a little bit quicker. Everybody's taking a bunch of touches because they feel like they've got time and space, but you can't break down a compact defense by just dribble, dribble, dribble. It's got to be passing the ball quicker, getting it moved from side to side, and then maybe even serving a few more crosses in as people get into the box.
Kyle Fisher, the center half, moving forward. As Asiadu has it back near the midway stripe. Fans, the USL unveiled its elite youth platform. That's USL Academy, that allows clubs at all levels across the USL to develop its local youth and compete at the highest levels across the United States, including the USL Academy Cup. As Culbertson is tackled off the ball, Asiadu is still there. And now Charleston do have it back. Anunga looking for options. Almost caught in possession, now he is. Lopez able to win it back, here's Williams. Williams trying to turn, now turns back the other direction. His shot partially deflected. It's going to be a corner. For more information, visit uslsoccer.com/academy.
J.J. Williams is a right-footed player, but he loves that little spin move and going back to his left, and he can hit a bomb with that left. Almost got it off before being blocked.
Rain coming in a little bit harder now, as you can see on your screen, as the breeze is blowing it back towards the west. Cromwell with a driven shot that's blocked. Asiadu, still Asiadu, gets around 1 man. His cross is dangerous. It's headed right in the 6-yard area, and Kuzminski was fouled trying to get it. Williams went down, and now both sides getting a little chippy.
Legion players have got to be smart here. They've got the man advantage. They don't want to do anything to give that advantage away. J.J. Williams was just trying to get to the ball. He got a little bump and fell into Joe Kosminski. But it's the rest of the players that are getting involved in pushing and shoving, and one of them is going to get themselves sent off if they're not careful.
Marcos Ugarte, I believe, is the recipient of a yellow card caution as the Birmingham Legion subs are warming up along the end line. Ugarte trying to come to his teammates' defense and was quickly shown yellow by referee Mark Allerton. The rare booking for a player who has not yet entered the match, as Williams is to his knees at least, still nursing what appears to be his midsection. Williams to his feet as the rain comes down even harder now.
The rain and the wind, and that wind is going to be a factor. Every goal kick, punt, big ball played over the top is going to go an extra 5 or 10 yards in the favor of Charleston Battery.
So it is confirmed Ugarte is the recipient of a yellow card, as Kosminski mishits the goal kick. Legion want to take the throw quickly. Patterson interfered with that, and I believe he's about to be booked. He is. So Patterson's the recipient of his own yellow card, and after a cardless first 45 minutes, it has been a card fest midway through the second half.
Sometimes you think that the referee is maybe just a little overzealous in handing out the cards, but I think he's been spot on tonight. He's made all the right calls, whether it was a foul or a card. He's gotten it right. This is just a really tough game to control, and I don't think it's going to get any easier.
Legion once again pushing forward. Johnson well out to the wide side of the formation. Cromwell. That's going to get caught up in the wind. It won't get to its intended target as Lopez crashes with Patterson. And that's going to draw the training staffs for both sides as both men are holding their heads.
Mikey Lopez is such a brave player. 10 days ago, he got a really serious head injury, split his forehead open, had a number of stitches put in. 5 days later, he was playing with a headband. 10 days later, he's playing without any protection, and he's still challenging every single ball in the air.
Lopez just shaking his head, but appears to be okay. Meanwhile, Patterson has also made his way to his feet. Both players will have to come out momentarily. Charleston will play with 9 for the moment. Legion will play with 10 as the rain has almost reached pouring status here in downtown Birmingham and has sent many of the fans to the concourse near us for some respite. Playing on down on the pitch below though, 69th minute. Lopez goes down, edge of the area, and Kosminski will collect the free header. Fans Birmingham Legion FC continues their playoff push at BBVA Field on Wednesday, October 16th against New York Red Bulls 2 in a game presented by Vulcan Materials. Kickoff is at 7, but Plaza festivities begin at 5:30. Get your tickets today at bhmlegion.com or on the Legion FC app. That's Legion and New York Red Bulls 2, Wednesday, October 16th. Stoppage here before this throw-in as Charleston Battery will make their first change of the night. And it's Niku Daly who will come on for the first time since August 18th. Daly will come on and Zico Lewis will make way for the first substitution for either side this evening.
I'm a little bit surprised, although Zico Lewis is also coming back off an injury, and so this may be something that was planned, was that he was only going to get 70 minutes tonight. He's been the most dangerous player, and his quickness and dribbling skills were a real threat, but I think they're protecting him for the rest of the season.
Certainly 3 important games left after this one, and a healthy Zico Lewis is no doubt an important part of Charleston's attack. Here's Nelson. Kept it in play along the far touchline, but couldn't connect his pass. Cromwell was there, but gave it away. Here's a chance for Charleston moving forward. Rittmeyer out wide for Nelson. The pass didn't quite get there. Asiadu cut it out.
I do think this weather is a little bit in the favor of Charleston Battery. They're a little bit bigger, more physical team, but also at this point, I think a little bit of a scramble, mishit balls balls skipping off of the ground and off of players may create a little bit of chaos that playing a man short may give them an advantage.
Here's Van Schaik. Connects with Patterson. Patterson trying to find Anunga. Nicely done by Kyle Fisher.
It was a really good ball played forward. Great tackle from Kyle Fisher to stop Anunga, who was running at full speed.
Avila kept it. Here's Kassim. Kassim edge of the area.
When Legion get the ball in these wide positions, they've got one man in the box and a lot of players just standing and watching. Not enough movement off the ball, not enough people making runs into the box.
Johnson able to keep it. Trying to connect with Kassim. Kassim has it, turns, fires. Kuzminski's there.
That's the best chance of the second half for Legion FC.
Skidding off the wet turf, Kuzminski still able to hold it as we get a second look at the shot from Kassim. Well struck, but right at the goalkeeper's gloves as the rain continues to come down. With less than 20 minutes to go. Fans, don't forget there's only one place where you can choose what kit Birmingham Legion FC will wear in their season finale. It's the Legion FC app, available on both iOS and Android platforms. As Patterson's cross is deflected by Avila, right to the gloves of Matt Van Oekel. The Birmingham Legion FC app, available on both iOS and Android, and is the only place where you can vote on what kit Birmingham Legion FC will wear in their season finale. Download today. Legion restart play quickly after the foul. Aravo inside for Williams, who finds Lopez. Lopez trying to get it back to the big man and does, but Williams taken off it. Nicely done by Candela. Anunga. Candela. Out wide, Rittmeyer. Chance for an extended run of possession here for Charleston, something they have been hoping for quite some time after some extended defending. They've been down a man since the 59th minute.
If they can keep possession, it's that much less time that they've got to chase Legion all over the field. In the first half, we saw Patterson being one of their more dangerous players. I don't know if he's going to be as eager to get forward, knowing that there's not as much cover behind him when he does.
Van Schaik sends that over the touchline for a throw. Lopez was making the run from his right back position. Here's Kassim, back to Lopez.
Again, only one player in the box, J.J. Williams, the only target to aim for. Legion have got to get more people in the box if they want wide players to make those serves. Hard to serve when there's nobody there. Sometimes it's a little bit of the chicken or the egg. Do you serve it and then people will start running, or do you wait for the runs to serve it? But either way, they've got to get it wide, serve it in, and make those runs.
Mishit clearance there from Taylor Mueller gives Birmingham Legion a corner here in the 75th minute. Avila in the pouring rain, readies the service. It's a good one. Fisher heads it, but not quite on frame.
Legion have won a lot of balls off of corner kicks throughout this match. They haven't gotten them on target yet, but they've had 3 or 4 chances.
Quarter hour left tonight. Still scoreless between Charleston and Birmingham. Fans, don't forget the final playoff spots at stake on October 9th when Wednesday Night Soccer returns to ESPN News. Tune in at 7 o'clock Central Time when Birmingham Legion FC fight for that last spot in the East against upset-minded Hartford Athletic. Johnson now out to Avila. Avila into the area against Patterson. Avila's cross caught by Kuzminski. Once again, that's Birmingham Legion against Hartford Athletic. Catch all the drama unfold Wednesday, October 9th at 7 o'clock Central Time on ESPN News as Wednesday Night Soccer returns. Kuzminski takes his time before rolling it out to the captain Mueller, the 31-year-old from Washington. Here's Daly, the substitute, trying to turn, does so. It's Daly into the area. Daly with an opportunity. His shot deflected by Fisher as Kyle Fisher came to the rescue against what looked to be Charleston's best attacking opportunity here in the second half.
Kyle Fisher has made 2 or 3 really important blocks during this match. That was a really big one right there.
Still a chance. Here's Candela, who tees one up, blocked by Asiadu to Williams, and now the counter is on the other direction. Here comes Asiadu. Asiadu couldn't quite center it to Williams. And a great individual effort by Van Schaik, because that was an even 3-on-3 break. His deflection of that pass saved a dangerous opportunity.
It may be that one of the best opportunities or best methods for Legion to get some chances at goal is to let the battery possess the ball, let them send players forward, and then try and catch them on the counterattack. They certainly don't have as many players on the field to get back when they do.
Lopez moving forward quickly. Kassim hits it across the park to Johnson.
Lots of players in the box now. I count 5.
Johnson's just a bit too tall on that shot. Not a bad effort, though.
We've seen him score a couple of spectacular goals earlier in the season. We know he's got that in the toolbox. Just got a little bit under that one.
And don't forget, you can continue to enjoy the USL on ESPN through the 2022 season. USL is excited to announce the championship and League One will remain with the leader in sports for 3 more years. ESPN Plus will continue to be the home of all things USL, and at least 19 games a year will be featured on the ESPN family of networks, including 9 games on ESPN Deportes. Continue to follow, support, and watch your club on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Thanks for joining us tonight on ESPN Plus. Blake Gardner alongside Mike Getman, 78th minute for the Magic City. 2 teams fighting for the final playoff spot in the East. Charleston Battery have been down a man since the 59th minute if you're just joining us. But Birmingham Legion, as has been the theme for most of the night, have not been able to break down this Charleston defense, and now a giveaway at the back by Birmingham.
Legion have to be careful here. Sometimes you get a little bit complacent. You feel you're a man up. Things are going to go your way. This game is not over, and Charleston certainly has showed that they're willing to send some people into the attack and that they can be dangerous even a man down.
Veteran play there by Culbertson, who chests it towards Van Oekel, and now Legion restart quickly the opposite direction. Johnson finds Aravo. Aravo trying to turn against Anunga, draws a foul. Lopez for Avila. Avila's service towards Williams, doesn't quite get there. Mueller got his head there first. Nelson trying not to concede a corner, and he's able to keep it in play.
Really well done from Nelson. I thought for sure that ball was going to skid out of bounds.
Legion still cycling in possession. Here's Williams, who turns against Mueller. Still Williams, keeps his feet. His shot is blocked. Only as far as Aravo, though. Aravo tees up his own effort that catches Williams. Lopez goes down after a touch. Referee not by.
Even though that shot was blocked by J.J. Williams, I like the shot from distance. Anytime you shoot the ball, things can happen. Deflections, rebounds, mishits, especially on a field as wet as this one with rain coming down. I do think Legion need to start to look to drive balls in the box, take shots from distance, do whatever they can.
Substitution.
Legion make their first change of the night here in the 80th minute as Eric Avila comes out. And Femi Hollinger-Jansen comes in. First appearance for Femi Hollinger-Jansen since October 24th, when he left the match against Loudoun United early due to concussion symptoms. Was in the squad on Monday against Swope Park but didn't play, but certainly a good sign for Legion that Hollinger-Jansen can join the fray. Each side still with 2 changes left at their disposal.
He's been out for over a month, but it's good to see him back on the field. He also gives Legion a second forward. I'm confident that we're going to see Legion playing with 2 up top, trying to have that extra player in the box when serves do come in. also some fresh legs to make runs and just try to create some havoc with his energy.
Hollinger Jansen's played a little bit of everything for Legion so far this year. He's played some winger, some midfielder, some forward, some center back. Comes on as a forward here in the 80th, now 81st minute, as Legion have won themselves a throw. As the rain looked to be letting up there momentarily, now has resumed its pouring status. It has turned into a bit of a slog here in downtown Birmingham tonight. Here's Johnson. Nicely done, finds Williams. Williams' first touch evades him though. Asiadu trying to fight off Candela. Draws a whistle, but opts to play quickly anyway. But instead, it'll be brought back as Candela remains on the turf.
Asiadu trying to show that he didn't do anything. Referee brought that back not to say anything to Asiadu, but just to simply make the free kick happen from the spot of the foul.
And now Candela is going to require some medical attention as he's down holding his face. So Candela will get medical assistance as we get a second look. Maybe a bit of a stiff arm there from Asiadu after the foul.
A little bit of a shove, and I think he did catch him in the face with his forearm.
Candela to his feet at the moment, but he will have to come off. Holding his nose, maybe the bridge of his nose, it appears. Battery do have another sub ready and waiting. It's Dante Marini. As Charleston appear primed to make their second change of the night. And we'll see if Candela is indeed the man who will be coming off. He won't be, as it'll be Kotaro Higashi who comes off instead. So Higashi will make his way off. The 30-year-old from Japan has his night come to a close here in the 83rd minute in favor of Dante Marini, the 27-year-old from Pennsylvania.
More time ticks off the clock as they slowly make this substitution.
Battery in the 83rd minute. Entering the game is number 19, Dante Marina. Leaving the game is number 25.
So one sub left for Charleston. We'll see how they use it. Still down a man for the remainder of this one. Johnson out wide to Asiadu. Asiadu beat one man. His service sent back to him by Muller. Lopez restarts play in to Kassim. Kassim fights off the defender, Candela. Still Kassim. Couldn't thread it through to Williams, though. Culbertson's delivery. Supplied with a punch did Kuzminski. Clearance only as far as Asiadu, but one back by Anunga. Here's Daly. Daly able to keep it under some pressure and gets it back. Chance for Charleston to counter here.
They're 3-on-3 if they go quickly.
Rittmeyer against Culbertson. Has some width coming from Nelson. Nelson's first touch service sent away by Cromwell. And now Legion a chance to go the other direction if they hurry. Johnson looking over the top for Femi Hollinger Jansen. Hollinger Jansen couldn't quite run it down.
Femi showing his pace there. Almost got on the end of that one.
Patterson pushing forward, out wide to the new man, Marini. Marini 1v1 against Lopez for the moment. Still Marini, edge of the area. Lopez was giving ground, now gives no more, and ushers it out for a corner.
Really good 1v1 defending again from Mikey Lopez. We saw it in the first half where he was exposed 1v1, and he just remained patient, didn't bite, ended up doing a great job, gave up the corner on this one, but that's better than 1v1 going to goal.
It's going to be Marini who takes the corner for Charleston in the 86th minute. Set piece opportunity for the visiting Battery. Lofted service to the back post. Patterson got ahead to it. Nelson brings it down all the way through, almost untouched. It finds Marini. Marini's service sent away by Lopez.
Great first touch, and then a really good driven ball across the box.
Here comes Daniel Johnson. Legion have numbers if they hurry. Hit all the way across the park, Asiadu. First bounce just a bit too tall for Asiadu, slowed the pace of the attack. Nevertheless, Legion still with it. Here's Arivo. Arivo with space. Has width supplied by Johnson. Johnson to the end line. Hollinger Jansen couldn't flick it on frame. Still a miss in the area, and finally Kuzminski has it.
Got around the end of the defense, drove the ball, balls start bouncing. Anything can happen. That time it landed in Kuzminski's hands, but it could have been anywhere.
Rittmeyer fights off Culbertson, able to keep possession for the moment. Hollinger Jansen supplies the tackle, and I believe a foul has been given. Fans, the big games continue this week, and Legion FC fans are gathering to catch all the action as Legion FC heads north to take on Hartford Athletic on Wednesday, October 9th at 7 o'clock Central Time. Join fans of the Black and Gold at Avondale Brewery for all the action on the big screen. Take part in the fun and games and the watch party. Birmingham Legion and Hartford Athletic this upcoming Wednesday at 7. Daly able to hold off one defender. Now gets around a second. Couldn't quite beat the third, though, as Culbertson supplied the final tackle. Culbertson trying to loft it over the top to Williams. Mueller was there. Time ticking down on Birmingham Legion. Got to imagine Charleston Battery would be thrilled with a draw given the circumstances. A hard-fought road point it would be.
Coming into this match, a point is what Charleston needed because they've got the much lighter schedule the rest of the way.
Good service from Lopez, deflected out for a corner.
This late stage of the game, I think that they'll be more than happy to go home with the point if they can keep it here.
Legion have a second sub ready, and Joe Holland, they opt not to make it before the set piece. As Culbertson prepares in the near flag.
Holland is another attacking player. Normally plays as a forward, but we've seen him in midfield a few times this.
Culbertson, oh, a dangerous opportunity goes wanting as Lopez had a free header but couldn't convert.
Another really good service, another header off of a corner. They just haven't been able to direct him on goal tonight.
Substitution.
So here's the substitution as Zach Arivo will give way to Joe Holland.
Game is number 8, Joe Holland. Leading the game is number 21.
Holland's from Birmingham, but not Birmingham, Alabama, Birmingham, England. Former super draft pick of the Houston Dynamo makes his first appearance since August 29th against Loudoun. Now each side with one change left. Fisher back into midfield. Anunga trying to get around to Asiadu. Asiadu got there first. Tough defending there from Asiadu, winning his side possession, and now here comes Johnson. Johnson couldn't quite get it through to Williams. 90th minute from downtown Birmingham, a giveaway, a dangerous one at that. Hollinger Jansen still has it. Edge of the area. Tried to get it out wide for Lopez, couldn't quite do so. And Anunga sends it as far away from his defending third as possible.
Mikey Lopez is playing as a right back, but he's moved up to left wing, and he hasn't been in a rush to get back at all.
Just a few minutes left in our regulation 90 minutes. Indications from the fourth official say there will be 5 minutes of stoppage time. Johnson surveys his options. Looking for Culbertson, didn't quite get it to him. First touch for the sub, Joe Holland. Culbertson, left-footed service, blocked for a throw, as it is officially 5 minutes of stoppage time. Our stoppage time brought to you tonight by UAB Medicine. After no stoppage time in our first 45 minutes, 5 minutes to conclude our night here. Nelson heads it as far as Asiadu. Out wide, Kassim. Kassim wants to cut it to his left. Leaves it for Johnson. Johnson, his service, punched away by Kuzminski. Culbertson into the fray, and a foul is given.
Really important touch from Joe Kuzminski on that play. He couldn't get much on it, but just enough to deflect it out of trouble.
And Culbertson in frustration sent a shot after the whistle over the bar, and for that he's been booked. Second yellow card shown to a Birmingham Legion player tonight.
Yellow card caution has been issued by the referee to Legion FC.
Make it the third, actually, the second Legion player on the field. There was a third given to Marcos Ugarte while he was not on the field. No cards issued in the first half. We've had a host of them. Here in the second. 92nd minute, Legion still searching for a winner against a 10-man Charleston side. Charleston holding on by their fingernails for the moment. Fisher threads it through. Lovely weighted pass to Hollinger Jansen.
Really good pass from Kyle Fisher. There wasn't much room to sneak that ball in, but he did.
Kassim back out wide to Femi. Gets it back to Kassim.
They've got to move the ball quicker. It's just too slow and too deliberate. Quick ball movement, quick individual movement. Early serves in, that's how you break down a packed team.
Asiadu couldn't quite get it through to Culbertson. Johnson brings it down against two black and gold shirts and lost it. Cromwell there though. Cromwell couldn't thread his own pass through. And now Niku Daly's one-on-one with Fisher. He gets around Fisher, but Asiadu supplies some help, not before Fisher is booked for his hold, and it was much needed. Otherwise, Niku Daly was in on goal.
Yeah, people don't always like professional fouls, but that was a really important one from Kyle Fisher. That was the whole season right there. He was beaten. He wasn't going to catch him. He knew he had to do whatever it took to stop him from going in on goal. Takes the yellow card, but keeps Legion alive for the playoffs with that foul.
It is a stoppage that allows Charleston to bleed the clock a little bit further. Referee gives the whistle to Van Schaik and tells him to restart play, which he does. Service in, looking for Daly, not quite to him. Falls for Patterson though, trying to get around Lopez. Lopez was there. And now Legion trying to push forward quickly the other direction. Time running out. Kassim cuts it back inside, but his touch a bit too heavy. He lost it, but got it back from Candela. Still Kassim working forward. Gets it out wide. Here's Johnson. Johnson's service, partially deflected. Headed away by Van Schaik. Sent away by Patterson. Kassim tees it up. His left-footed service, a good one. Doesn't clear Van Schaik. And Patterson heads it over the touchline as we are about to enter our 95th minute of the night. Once again, a minimum of 5 minutes of stoppage time here. Daly trying to fight off Fisher, couldn't keep it in play. Playoff hopes in the balance in our final moments of added time tonight. Joe Holland out wide for Culbertson. Culbertson's delivery. Sent away, but only momentarily. Still work to be done for this Charleston back line. Asiadu delivers a dangerous ball. Kuzminski with a two-handed punch. Culbertson takes it on the half volley.
Half volley with his right foot. Tough ball for a left-footed player to hit.
And we'll see if that's the final attacking opportunity tonight for Birmingham Legion. Kuzminski will send this one as far away from his defending half as possible. And that might draw the final whistle.
I think it will. I think we're going to see this ball get in the air and the referee's going to end the game. Or he's going to do something else.
And there it is, full time for the Magic City tonight. A 0-0 scoreless draw between Birmingham Legion and Charleston Battery keeps each side's playoff hopes intact as the sides each share a point.
Keeps them tied on points. Legion stay in front with more wins on the season. But Charleston Battery know that playing a man short, that's a pretty valuable point to come away with on the road.
Big point for Charleston Battery. They now have 40 on the year and have 3 consecutive games at home coming up on the slate to try to get that final playoff spot. Meanwhile, Birmingham Legion have to hit the road coming up on short rest. Early next week, 0-0 scoreless draw between Birmingham Legion FC and Charleston Battery tonight is how it comes to a close for the Magic City this evening. We'll take a timeout and wrap things up when we return from BBVA Field.
There's not a better or more convenient space to soak in some.
At Red Diamond, we've spent 112 years searching the world for the perfect beans. Your search will be considerably shorter. Red Diamond. Expect perfection. Available at a grocer near you. When your taste buds demand greatness, nothing compares to Red Diamond coffee. Unless, of course, it's Red Diamond tea. No shortcuts, no skimping. Perfect's not easy. Red Diamond. Available at a grocer near you.
Welcome back to BBVA Field. Disappointed home crowd, no doubt, here at BBVA Field as Legion draws with Charleston Battery. It's a league-high 13th draw for Charleston Battery. No USL club has had more draws on this 2019 campaign than the Battery, but Mike, this one was a hard-fought effort for the visitors tonight.
I think Charleston Battery are pretty happy coming away with that draw. They're a very good defensive team. They get a lot of people back. They don't make a lot of mistakes back there. They got the point they came for. Legion FC will be a little disappointed not to have come away with 3, but they do still control their own destiny, and so they've got 3 matches in front of them. Go out, take care of business. They'll find themselves in the playoffs.
Legion +7 in the shots column and had plenty of possession, especially after the man advantage for the most of the second half. But in the end, Charleston Battery's back line held firm, and Mike, we'll see whether that proves to be the difference in this playoff push here at the end of the season. Certainly, Charleston Battery have to be pleased.
I think that they are. I think Legion are a little disappointed. Both teams will get back home and get themselves together. At this point, you've got 3 matches to play for the season, and so they'll get it done and see what happens over the next couple weeks.
Legion back in action early next week on the road against Hartford. Meanwhile, 3 home games await Charleston Battery against Loudoun, Memphis, and Bethlehem Steel. Fans, don't forget this copyrighted broadcast is owned by USL Productions, LLC. All rights to this broadcast are reserved, and any rebroadcast, recording, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written permission of USL Productions is prohibited. For Mike Getman and the entire crew here at BBVA Field who endured the rain and the storms this evening, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next time.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.